Here's your KNDY weatherology forecast for northeast Kansas and southeast Nebraska. Lots of sunshine today with daytime highs approaching 83. Lows level off around 65. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Chance of thunderstorms tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 85, a mix of clouds and sun. Mid-80s Wednesday and Thursday. I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. Right now, 77.
Mid-America Network News. A week after a Pawnee Heights High School student athlete died after collapsing on the field at a football practice, community support continues with the formation of a memorial fund ahead of his funeral. An obituary for Rylan Reese confirmed that his funeral is set for 10 a.m. Wednesday at Valley Community Church in Burdett, Kansas. Those wishing to contribute to the memorial fund can do so at valleycommunitychurch.net/give. At the link, add Reese's Memorial in the note. An inmate at the Lansing Correctional Facility reportedly died on Saturday. According to the Kansas Department of Corrections, Michael Moore, 35, was found unresponsive in his cell. Staff and medical services personnel administered life-saving measures but were unable to revive him. I'm Stephanie Austin.
A lot of homes built in the 90s still have their original siding and windows. If this is you, then call Burwell Construction at 316-794-3430. New siding and windows can make your house more energy efficient. Burwell Construction has been a trusted name for thousands of homeowners. Call them today, 316-794-3430, and let Burwell Construction give you a free estimate on windows and siding. And Burwell Construction will take care of all your guttering needs. Find them online at burwellconstruction.com.
If it's Burwell, it's Burwell. Burwell Construction.
We got out of Washington State, and I think a week after, state went on lockdown for COVID.
So then when we transitioned to Texas, it was very much so like, what are we going to do now?
Operation Homefront has allowed our family to make something of ourselves again in the world after the military.
It's completely changed the way our life is. It took us from a hopeless situation, and now we're homeowners. We have a savings account. I'm the first one to own a home out of my siblings.
Visit OperationHomefront.org to learn more.
Following a Lyon County District Court ruling that a citizen-led petition against data centers must be put to a vote, the City of Emporia is now preparing for a public vote later this year. The City of Emporia says it will hold a special meeting this Wednesday to take action on pending ballot petitioners and related legal actions. The public is welcome to attend. The meeting will be Wednesday at 12 p.m. at the Civic Auditorium. The Environmental Protection Agency put out an emergency fuel waiver in hopes that consumers will pay less at the pump. The new EPA regulation will loosen some gas restrictions, increasing the country's fuel supply. Starting on September 1st, E10 gas can be sold at a higher vapor pressure, increasing oil supplies. Currently, the national average per gallon have hit $4.10. Kansas has an average of $3.87 per gallon. I'm Stephanie Austin.
Most hailstorms last 3 to 5 minutes. In that time, Mother Nature can deal a crushing blow to your crops, your profits, and the future of your farming operation. Remove that risk with crop hail coverage from Blue Valley Insurance. Our crop hail policies provide protection against physical damage from hail, and our wind coverage ensures a safety net in case of damaging winds and tornadoes. Blue Valley Insurance in Lynn, Greenleaf, Hanover, and Marysville.
Nebraska Mid-America Network News. I'm Andy Hoosier. U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. wrapped up last week paying a visit to the University of Nebraska's Medical Center along with the National Quarantine Unit at the end of last week, as Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen, along with the Nebraska University president, ended up hosting the health secretary and holding a news conference on the latest with the hantavirus and the technology that Nebraska was able to do during that quarantine period.
Earlier this year, Nebraska put that capacity to work when 18 Americans faced potential exposure to Andre's hantavirus after traveling on the Honduras. Nebraska Medicine and UNFC received them with the National Quarantine Unit, protected the public, cared for the people involved, and completed the operation with 0 detected cases. That is preparedness. Build the capacity before a crisis arrives and be ready to act when it does.
Mid-America Network News.
Count on
Is your flow running low? It may be time to upgrade your well and ensure your water flow is running safe and efficient. Winnegar Drilling offers water well drilling, water well service, trenching services, and so much more. Give them a call today, 316-729-5881, or find them online at winnegardrilling.com.
Count on Winnegar Drilling.
We'll bring that water up.
Fall season is finally here. Are you ready? You will be with the Mid-America Ag Network. Stay tuned right here all season long as we give you updates directly from the farm with harvest updates across the country. From Texas all the way up to the Dakotas, we have your daily crop progress reports, quality reports, harvest delays, co-op and price updates on your crop, and so much more. Let us help you have a successful harvest this year, and it all starts right here on the Mid-America Ag Network.
As another school year gets underway, two area superintendents are here to talk about what's new in their districts. Mark Jolliffe from Southern School District and Mike Mayerly from Diller Odell School District, both in Nebraska. As students and staff return to school, Mark and Mike tell me what's going on in their school districts this year.
One of our biggest things that we've got going is we've got our building project where we're building a new auxiliary gym that also has, it'll provide a second gym for our teams to be able to practice as well as, play JV and junior high games in. And then within that gym, it also has an upper level mezzanine, which will be our wrestling room. So that'll be great for our wrestling team to have a dedicated wrestling room space, because currently they use the elementary gym, which is also the cafeteria. So they've got to roll up their mats and unroll their mats and do all those things every day. So that'll be huge. And then there's also a multi-purpose room that will be down below the wrestling room that will be super for just lots of different activities for our district as well as our community.
Kind of in the final stages of preparation, I guess, for yet another year. We look forward to another successful year. It's a good small school, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
Almost every school year brings some new faces, whether it's a new teacher, para, or an aide.
We have two new teachers at Southern this year. We have Lainey Schaefer, his K-12 art, and Amanda Rath, which is 712 special education. So excited to have them on board and looking forward to good things.
So, I hopefully don't forget anybody, but we do have a few new people this year. We have Jerica Reason is a new fifth grade teacher over at the elementary, as well as Abby Nelson. She's in first grade. Tyler Wilkins, a new para. And in the kitchen, we have Ann Party as a new cook. And I think that's it. Hope I'm not forgetting anybody.
Sometimes with every school year comes a teacher or a staff member that retired at the end of the last school year.
We didn't, to my knowledge, have any long-time staff retire this past year.
Oh, gosh. We had some staff members retire last year in the kitchen. Kathy Burish and Phyllis Leesberg both retired from the kitchen. In the elementary, we had Stacy Henneberg, a longtime teacher, retired. She'd been with Diller Odell ever since the merger, and prior to that, Diller Community Schools. Cindy Stowe's longtime para and bus driver also retired for us. A number of people have, just called it a career and ready to move on.
Schools are always working to improve. Mark and Mike share what their district has done over the summer.
Yeah, the biggest is the new gym that's going up, and the new gym project is our biggest project. We've also reworked some drainage projects at the elementary, which will be beneficial for structural concerns, but also just for our playgrounds. Then we'll be adding we're bringing our pre-K over from a outside structure into bringing it into the elementary. So that's a change, but also then we'll add a pre-K playground, which will happen in the fall.
No major facility improvements, just kind of general maintenance this summer. We feel fortunate over the last last decade, we built a couple fitness centers, put in a track, a new competitive gym at the high school. And so those were the big projects. So it's kind of nice for me as I'm getting close to the end of my career to just kind of have general maintenance more than anything. But, I mean, our kids, we offer a quality education in a small school. I'm a small school guy. I don't know if I'd be able to survive in a big school, but I like it here. And it's, I think, a good place to come to school and a good place to work.
Thank you to Mark Jolliffe of Southern School District and Mike Mayerly of Diller Odell School District for joining today and sharing what's ahead for the new school year. Wishing all the students, teachers, staff, and communities in both districts a safe, successful, and rewarding school year.
Attention farmers and livestock owners looking for top quality feed and essential supplies for your animals. Look no further than Home City Grain, offering a wide variety of feed options for small and large livestock, as well as Smart Lick tubs, perfect for providing essential nutrients to your herd. Contact Home City Grain today at 785-799-3326 or find them online at homecitygrain.com for up-to-the-minute grain bids, weather outlook, and more.
Here's your KNDY weatherology forecast for northeast Kansas and southeast Nebraska. Showers clearing up early on today, then staying sunny with our highs in the mid to upper 80s. Partly cloudy skies overnight tonight with our lows in the lower to mid to upper 60s. Some rain showers are possible into Tuesday, otherwise sunny with our highs in the mid 80s. Then scattered showers and thunderstorms are likely throughout Tuesday night, partly cloudy with our lows in the lower to mid 60s. There will be another slight chance for some rain showers into Wednesday, otherwise mostly sunny with our highs in the mid to upper 80s. Then mostly clear skies throughout Wednesday night with our lows in the lower to mid 60s. Sunshine into Thursday with our highs in the lower 80s, then staying clear throughout Thursday night with our lows in the lower to mid 60s. Still staying sunny into Friday with our highs in the mid to upper 80s, then a slight chance for some scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout Friday night, partly cloudy with our lows in the upper 60s and lower 70s. Rain may linger early Saturday morning, then staying sunny with our highs in the upper 80s and lower 90s, and more rain showers possible throughout Saturday night, partly cloudy with our lows in the upper 60s and lower 70s. Some rain early on Sunday with our highs in the 90s. I'm meteorologist Kara Foster.
Average high temperature for the KNDY listening area this time late August, 87 degrees. Record high on this date, 105. Average low temperature, 63, with the record low being 47. Sunrise this morning at 6:47. Sunset this evening at 8:10.
A close encounter of the skunk kind, needless to say, best avoided. We'll share some strategies on discouraging them from your garden on the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report.
Let's talk about your health insurance. There are a lot of reasons why people need affordable health insurance. But here's the bottom line. You know you need affordable health insurance. For you, a spouse, a family member, whatever. I'm going to give you a free hotline to call to find affordable health insurance that can cover all your health insurance needs in case you get sick or have an emergency. Plus, cover vision, dental, and more. And there are no long-term commitments. You can keep your plan as long as it's affordable and for the price of a cup of coffee. We're not talking about one of those fancy coffees. For the price of a regular cup of coffee a day, you can have quality, affordable health insurance. Call the Health Insurance Hotline for a free quote.
800-761-7341. 800-761-7341. 800-761-7341. That's 800-761-7341.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Monday, August 24th, the 236th day of the year. Actor Chad Michael Murray has a birthday, and a patent for the waffle iron was issued on this day in 1869. When tending the garden, the last thing you'd want to encounter is a skunk. If you think one or more have been lurking, here's a few ways to encourage them to move along. Ironically enough, skunks dislike strong odors. Strategically placed citrus peels, bar soap, or ammonia-soaked rags may help repel them. Many garden centers sell predator urine as well. The nocturnal critters don't like bright lights. You might try installing motion-activated lighting. And finally, eliminating grubs. Their favorite snack will leave your garden a much less appealing place. That's your Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report. Learn more online at almanac.com.
Throughout every community in Kansas, you find hardworking people who make our state better each day. They bring their best to everything they do.
determined to reach their full potential and make life better not only for themselves, but for every citizen in Kansas. They are the soldiers of the Kansas Army National Guard. They proudly serve part-time in their local communities. Learn more about service with the Kansas Army National Guard at nationalguard.com/KS. Sponsored by the Kansas Army National Guard. Aired by the Kansas Association of Broadcasters and this station.
The city of Washington, Kansas is accepting applications for Public Works Superintendent. This applicant must possess a valid Kansas BCDL and high school diploma/GED. Knowledge in vehicle and equipment maintenance and operations, along with supervisory, managerial, and leadership skills is required. This position requires residency within a 5-mile radius of Washington and on-call coverage on a rotating basis. Position also requires Class 2 water and Class 1 waterways operations certificates. Contact the Washington City Clerk 785-325-2284 or visit washingtonks.net/employment for a full job description and applications. Compensation dependent upon qualifications and includes an excellent benefit package. Interested candidates can submit their application, resume, and cover letter and a 3 work-related reference to the City of Washington, P.O. Box 296. Position open until filled. EOE.
Kansas Mid-America Network Sports. I'm Andy Hoosier. Well, it's week number 2 of the preseason for the NFL as the Kansas City Chiefs ended up falling to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers by 1 point for their second game of the season with a 16-15 loss, as the Chiefs were the first ones to put points on the board in the second quarter going into the half, putting 9 points on by the half. The Chiefs, however, were stopped in the second half of the game, only putting 6 points on the board, as overall Kansas City had 234 total yards for the game, including 130 passing yards and 104 rushing yards, along with 17 first downs and 4 punts in the game. There is 1 week left of the preseason as Kansas City has a Friday night game coming up this week against the Seattle Seahawks. That first kickoff at 7 p.m. In Major League Baseball, it's a day off for the Kansas City Royals after wrapping up their 3-game series over the weekend against the Tigers. The Royals ended up sweeping the Tigers in the series, finishing yesterday's game 11-7. They're on the road now, taking on the Toronto Blue Jays starting tomorrow with first pitch at 6:05. Mid-America Network Sports.
Throughout every community in Kansas, you find hardworking people who make our state better each day. They bring their best to everything they do, determined to reach their full potential and make life better not only for themselves, but for every citizen in Kansas. They are the soldiers of the Kansas Army National Guard. They proudly serve part-time in their local communities. Learn more about service with the Kansas Army National Guard at nationalguard.com/KS. Sponsored by the Kansas Army National Guard, aired by the Kansas Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Fox Sports. Fox Kansas is Wichita's home for exciting live sports action. Friday, college volleyball takes center stage as Creighton battles Purdue at 6, followed by Minnesota and Arizona State at 8. Then on Saturday, one of baseball's fiercest rivalries reignites as the Red Sox face the Yankees at 6. And on Sunday, IndyCar brings high-speed action from the Milwaukee Mile at noon, followed by a college volleyball showdown between Texas and Nebraska at 2:30. Fox Sports. Fox Kansas. Channel 24, Cox Cable Channel 4.
Regular season baseball is winding down for 2026, and in the AA division, the Wichita Wind Surge are getting ready to wrap up their season as well. And while they've struggled through portions of their season, they are boasting about one record-breaking thing they have done, which is having the only all-female athletic training staff that's been helping them through the season this entire year.
It's nice to kind of make the atmosphere a little different than the guys would have when it's all male coaching staff or all male like medical and performance staff.
We're not the first in a sense to be in baseball, right? Like we have some greats that have come before us and that have kind of paved that way, but to see that there's still so much work to do and we're part of that work feels really good.
And audio from Cake News, where according to members of the training staff, they say they look forward to a new era of the sport, working to make it easier for all the women, breaking barriers in the dugout, saying more women are becoming interested in baseball.
Hey, Wildcat fans, single match tickets for K-State Volleyball are on sale now. Be here as the Cats look to make another postseason run, facing Big 12 foes, including BYU and TCU. Feel the energy inside Morgan Family Arena. Get your tickets today by visiting kstatesports.com/tickets or by calling 1-800-221-CATS. Go Cats!
When neighbors come together, good things happen. From cheering at local events to welcoming new businesses, Marysville shows the power of working as one. That's what One Marysville is all about, supporting our businesses, strengthening our community, and creating a place we're proud to call home. With events nearly every weekend, experiences you won't soon forget, and a community proud of its history, One Marysville is honored to be a part of Marysville's story. Find something new or see what others are saying about Marysville by visiting onemarysville.com. A town brimming with creativity, culture, and community, we're proud to call Marysville home.
Life can be overwhelming. That doesn't mean you have to face your challenges alone. Compassionate, confidential support is within reach. The 988 Suicide Crisis Lifeline provides support from trained counselors ready to listen, available 24/7 to you, anytime, anywhere. Most people get the help they need with just one conversation. You can call or text 988 or chat online at 988lifeline.org.
Sponsored by Headquarters Kansas and aired in cooperation with this station.
Moon Valley Pilea deeply dimpled apple green leaves with bronze highlights inspired its common name. Hi, I'm Melinda Myers, horticulturist and gardening expert. Some of you may know it as Friendship Plant because it's easy to start new plants from cuttings to pass along to friends. Grow Moon Valley Pilea in an African violet or similar rich, well-drained potting mix. Water thoroughly when the top inch of soil is just starting to dry. Avoid overly dry or soggy soils that can result in leaf drop. Place it among your other houseplants or on a gravel tray to increase the humidity around this tropical beauty. Give it bright, indirect light and a turn every so often to encourage even growth. Too much sun can scorch the leaves, while too little results in leggy plants. If the plant does become leggy with age, give it a pinch to promote more compact growth. And if it's too far gone, take cuttings and start a new plant. Check out our website for this and other gardening tips.
Turn it up, Nemaha County. The biggest night of live music and unforgettable fun is gearing up for Nemaha Night, Saturday, October 3rd in Centralia, with great country music acts headlined by Josh Ward.
Same old cowboy, different road.
Tickets can be purchased at NemahaNights.com. But don't wait as prices increase September 1st. An evening of dancing, relaxing, and whatever you want to make it. Music starts at 5 p.m. You don't want to miss the biggest concert Nemaha County has ever seen. Nemaha Nights, October 3rd. Tickets and information at NemahaNights.com.
Looking for a place to call home without breaking the bank? Come live stress-free with the Waterville Housing Authority. Income-based 1 and 2 bedroom apartments that fit your budget at any age, and no maintenance worries with small town living at its best. Openings available immediately. Contact Lisa at 785-363-2239. Apply today and discover why so many love calling the Waterville Housing Authority home.
Get ready to laugh with Fluffy at the Kansas State Fair. Gabriel Iglesias brings his live comedy show to the fair on Thursday, September 17th at 7:30 p.m. Tickets start at $45 and include gate admission. One of comedy's biggest names is bringing the jokes, the stories, and the laughs to Hutchinson. Don't miss it. Get your tickets today at kansasstatefair.gov.
When the first pioneers set about building homes and towns, they often looked for a good water source to sustain the settlement. That's the case here, and the water source even became the very name of the town. The story is this edition of the American Countryside.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar 4 or more times per day, injecting insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. A CGM can immediately reduce pain. It's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare, you can get a new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. Plus, get free shipping, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. Call now to receive your new continuous glucose monitor at little or no out-of-pocket cost.
Paid for by U.S. Medical Supply.
Call 800-409-1936. That's 800-409-1936. Again, 800-409-1936. That's 800-409-1936.
Southwestern Texas can be a hot and dry land, but this spot along the Rio Grande River could afford a break from those conditions.
We're lucky that we have the natural springs, the San Felipe Springs, and that's really what brought people here to this area. It was the water. We had a lot of water.
Michael Diaz oversees the Whitehead Memorial Museum, a place that tells the story of this important border city.
That's why our name is Del Rio, the river. The original name was San Felipe del Rio, which is St. Philip of the River. The reason they used to call it San Felipe was in the 1500s, the first Catholic Mass was held on the banks of the San Felipe River, of the springs, on St. Philip's Day.
But that longer name was eventually changed.
The town became known as San Felipe del Rio, and then when the post office came in, they asked to change it from San Felipe del Rio to just Del Rio because there was already a San Felipe de Austin, and they were getting confused with the mail, so they shortened it down. Due to the post office, our city became Del Rio.
Hardy souls began making their way to the springs here, beginning new lives and livelihoods on the banks of the Rio Grande.
So in the late 1800s, people came down to Del Rio. Paula Lozoya, her and her husband, one of the founders of Del Rio, and they built the first house here, which is just down the street from the museum. They started a hacienda, and they started hiring the people who lived around this area.
There's plenty to see at the Whitehead Museum, but the biggest draw is the grave of a true Texas character and legend. His story is next time as we travel the countryside in Del Rio, Texas. I'm Andrew McCrae.
Looking for a healthcare provider in Marysville? Community Healthcare System is accepting new patients, and you don't have to wait weeks for your first appointment. Whether you need a wellness check, treatment for an illness, or ongoing care for your family, our experienced providers are here to help you with personalized, compassionate care. Call the Community Healthcare System Marysville Clinic today at 785-619-6078. or visit chcsks.org. Community Healthcare System, care you can count on right here in Marysville.
We're all familiar with hammers, but did you know there are some with a specific purpose? Hi, I'm Jody Henke. Using the right hammer will help you do the job faster and safer as you're living the country life.
Living the country life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic and from previous shows by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com. We'll return to the show after these messages.
Interact with Successful Farming on social media. Like us on Facebook at Successful Farming USA and follow us on X at Successful Farm for tips, ideas, timely news, and information from our editors. Find us on Instagram at successful_farming and love the latest photo or video. And take a look behind the scenes with our editors on TikTok at successful_farming. If you're looking for ideas and inspiration for your place in the country, register for the Living the Country Life newsletter. You'll receive helpful tips and information about a wide variety of seasonal topics, including pets, livestock, gardening, machinery, and more, delivered straight to your inbox twice each month. Sign up for your newsletter today at agriculture.com.
You probably have a lot of hammers of all different lengths, materials, sizes, and shapes, and it can be confusing to know which hammer to use for what task. Bob Hunter is the tools editor for Wood Magazine. He says you should use a hammer that's best for the nails or fasteners that you're trying to drive.
For example, if you're driving an 8-penny nail, you don't want to use a small tack hammer. You want to use a good basic claw hammer that can drive it in with ease and it's comfortable in your hand. And you don't also want to use something too big like a sledgehammer or something that would just overpower it because you either bend the nail or you could damage the wood that you're driving.
A basic claw hammer may have a straight or bent claw. Hunter says it's mostly a matter of preference, but the straight claw comes in handy for carpentry framing. Some projects require specific hammers. Small tack hammers are meant for more delicate tasks such as picture framing or upholstery. A ball-peen hammer is used for metalworking. Sledgehammers come in different weights for blacksmithing and use around the farm. Brick hammers are designed for cutting blocks and chipping mortar. Whatever hammer you need for the job, Hunter says it's important that you buy one that's comfortable in your hand and easy to swing. The handle may be made of wood or forged metal with rubber molded over it.
That's made to reduce vibration and shock for guys that are hammering nails all day. For the average home hammer, a wood handle is fine. On the striking face, you want it to be fairly flat. You don't want a rounded tip because you're going to bend nails with it more often. A curved claw will work for most instances, and if you can find one that has a little V notch on one of the claws, that's an even better thing because that lets you get out nails that are maybe embedded a little bit.
Hunter says you can buy a professional quality claw hammer for about $20. Learn more about choosing the right hammer at livingthecountrylife.com. I'll see you in the country.
Living the Country Life. Ideas and inspiration for your place in the country. You can find more information on today's topic, share your tips, and post photos by visiting us online at livingthecountrylife.com.
For top quality clothing that fits a busy lifestyle, Valley Vet Supply has you covered from head to toe. Fashionable options for the show arena to top quality workwear for on the farm. Choose from trusted brands like Bernie, Ariat, Cinch, and Wrangler in men's, women's, and kids options. More than supplies for your operation, swing by Valley Vet Supply in Marysville today and find the style that fits you.
Valley Vet Supply.
In a world pulling families in every direction, where can you find a place that strengthens your home instead of competing with it? At St. Mark's Lutheran Church in Waterville, we believe church should help families grow together. You'll hear practical, Bible-centered teaching, build real friendships, and find support as you help your children develop strong morals and a lasting faith in Jesus Christ. Our professionally staffed nursery provides loving care for little ones during worship, and Children's Church gives older kids an engaging, child-friendly way to learn the Bible message of the day. I'm Pastor David Thompson, and I invite you to check us out this Sunday morning at 10:45 a.m. St. Mark's Lutheran Church in Waterville. It's worth the drive for a church that is alive. Or check us out on Facebook.
The widow's mite is often used to teach sacrificial giving, and her sincerity is worth honoring, but Jesus is showing us more than that. Hi, I'm Rob West with the Faith and Finance Minute. Just before he watched a poor widow put 2 small coins into the temple treasury, Jesus warned that the scribes devour widows' houses. Then he pointed to a widow giving all she had to live on. That context matters. Jesus was exposing a system that received from the vulnerable while failing to protect them. So the widow's gift should move us, but the system around her should warn us. Biblical stewardship never uses spiritual language to burden the vulnerable. It calls us to give with sincerity, lead with integrity, and care for those God has entrusted to our protection. We can help you learn to manage your money according to biblical principles when you download the free FaithFi app. You'll find it on our website at faithfi.com.
A comprehensive database of farm equipment values across the country. Next on Farm to Fork.
Hey there, it's Mike Rowe, and if you're out there getting dirty, do me a favor and remember to call or click 811 before you dig. And when I say dig, I refer to any activity requiring boring, tilling, drilling, probing, reaming, plowing, drudging, or even scoping. Anything that causes you to roll up your sleeves a little and dig in requires you to first connect with 811 so that you can avoid all those buried pipes, wires, and cables underground. To sum up, call or click 811 before you dig and visit safeexcavator.com for more information.
A farm can be a wonderful place to grow up, but it can also be a dangerous place. Statistically, a child dies on a farm every 3 days somewhere in America. That needs to be fixed. Do whatever you can to make sure your kids keep safety top of mind, working or playing. Farm safety and health is everyone's business. This reminder is brought to you by Farm to Fork through the generous support of listeners like you across the country. Learn how you can help at NorthshoreProductions.com. If you're in the market to buy or sell a piece of farm machinery, you may find that Tractor Zoom is a great resource. Andy Campbell is a co-founder of the service based out of West Des Moines, Iowa.
Tractor Zoom, you can kind of think of it as like where data meets the Kelley Blue Book of farm equipment, all digital. And we have a huge marketplace site where people can go and find all the equipment they need. And we pull that stuff in real time. And so we know how much stuff is worth, when it's worth, how much supply is on the market. And you can kind of imagine if you know all that information about all the different pieces of farm equipment, and we're getting into construction too, in real time, then you can start to really understand what's driving the industry and what even projecting forward might happen, knowing that the supply is out there.
Campbell was a guest for the Purdue University Commercial Ag Podcast.
When I came into this position at Tractor Zoom, we were small fish, big pond type thing. And we knew that our strategy for marketing had to be different than just throw up Google ads and all the rest. And so we came at it at a perspective that we wanted to be the better educator, that we wanted to share what we had and try to just educate the industry, learn constantly, because we knew we didn't know it all and we still don't. But we always wanted to be the better educator and provide thought leadership as our leading edge. And so this ended up fitting really well with that.
That's Farm to Fork. I'm Daryl Anderson.
Hear that? That's the sound of summer coming to an end. Between homework, last-minute projects, and busy schedules all coming back, let us help keep your kids connected for learning while giving you the tools needed to keep them safe online. With Blue Valley Technologies' worry-free Wi-Fi, you'll have access to parental controls and device scheduling, all backed by an internet connection more reliable than finding both of those shoes before the school bus arrives. Sign up today and get 2 months of worry-free Wi-Fi free, plus free installation. Visit us at bluevalley.net.
Ag News from the Mid-America Ag Network. I'm James Garrett. The 2026 Pro Farmer Crop Tour ended with a major surprise for the agricultural market. While fields initially looked healthy from the road, scouts discovered a hidden issue once they began sampling: poor grain length and reduced ear counts across key growing regions. Because of these findings, Pro Farmer pegged the national corn yield at just 173.2 bushels per acre, totaling 15.3 billion bushels. This forecast falls well below the USDA's current estimate of 180.7 bushels per acre and 16 billion bushels of total production. Iowa, typically expected to carry the bulk of the national yield, saw its estimated corn output drop by over 2% compared to last year. Experts noted early season struggles left ears with poor tip fill and shorter grain length. Key I states, Illinois and Indiana, also face significant trade-offs between ear size and ear count, coming in nearly 20 bushels below USDA projections. Furthermore, fringe states like North Dakota and Kansas experience tough growing conditions, meaning outer regions will not be able to offset lower yields in the core corn belt. This supply drop coincides with unusually strong demand. Market experts point out that ethanol production, animal feed, and export demand remain robust. With supply tightening significantly, analysts expect the market to face a tight carryover situation unless consumption pulls back. Meanwhile, the story for soybeans presents a very different picture. Analysts urge market observers not to overlook the bean crop, as scouts found impressive pod counts across several northern states, particularly Minnesota. While recent heavy rainfall in saturated soils in the eastern Corn Belt pose a late-season disease risk, the soybean crop currently holds potential for strong overall performance and possibly a record-breaking yield, with average yields posting 53.3 bushels per acre. With the Pro Farmer Tour uncovering significant yield gaps, analysts anticipate the USDA will need to revise its crop production figures downward in upcoming monthly reports to reflect realistic field conditions. Ag News from the Mid-America Ag Network.
It's time to stress less with more money in your pocket. United makes it easy for you to stay connected with family and friends and save while you're doing it with 3 months free. For a limited time, get 3 months free of mobile wireless or wireless internet service with United. Get high-speed connectivity, unlimited talk, text, and data, and more money in your pocket. When you choose United, you're supporting a member-owned cooperative, proudly connecting Southwest Kansas with coverage you can trust. Visit getunited.com/radio or stop by a United store to get your 3 months free today. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Every season asks something different from your farm. Your insurance should do the same. With the Dragiston Insurance Agency, the time to relook at your policy isn't after a disaster strikes, it's before. Backed by the Buckeye Insurance Group and with offices in Washington, Clay Center, and Concordia, find insurance built around your operation. Every acre, building, and piece of equipment on your farm is vital to your farming investment. Your insurance should too. Insurance to grow with from the Dragiston Insurance Agency.
The National Bison Association reports that economics are good for producers and for consumers. That's today on Successful Farming.
Successful Farming Radio, providing information farmers need in the field, in the shop, and in the office. Committed to growing your business in agriculture.
Interact with Successful Farming on social media. Like us on Facebook at Successful Farming USA and follow us on X at Successful Farm for tips, ideas, timely news, and information from our editors. Find us on Instagram at successful_farming and love the latest photo or video. And take a look behind the scenes with our editors on TikTok at successful_farming. Check out our full lineup of Successful Farming podcasts. The Successful Farming podcast goes in-depth into the topics that affect farmers and ranchers. The 15 Minutes with a Farmer podcast offers a quick conversation between an editor and a farmer. The SF Shorts podcast offers bite-sized interviews about agricultural topics. And the SF Daily podcast covers commodity markets, weather, and the big things happening in agriculture each morning. Search for Successful Farming wherever you download your podcasts.
This is Lori Boyer for the Ag Information Network. National Bison Association Executive Director Jim Matheson says that currently wholesale prices are up and holding steady.
One exciting thing that's on my desk now are our current prices for bison at the wholesale level. We just last month, according to USDA, topped $4 a pound hanging weight on our young bulls. That's essentially our prime animals. So we have not hit $4 a pound in about 3.5 years. So that was very welcome news to our producers out there. And essentially, Lori, the supply of bison is very finite and demand is up and our supply is tightening accordingly. And that causes our prices to go up for quality animals, which keeps our producers happy. So that is a trend that's been ongoing for some time. We have increased our processing capacity for bison in the last couple of years with a couple of significant plant expansions on the larger end of the scale. So year to date, we're actually seeing processing up about 8% over last year at this time, again, according to that same USDA AMS report. And that's following a trend. Last year, we were up 10% in 2022 in our processing over the previous year for federal processing.
In addition to producer optimism.
Or lack of drought, rather, in buffalo country, as we'll call it, has really been welcome news and really helped our outlooks here and our optimism.
Matheson explains that most of the bison that is raised in the United States is raised in a mountainous west area, as well as the northern part of the country. Those regions have not experienced as much drought, which has led to bison herd expansion for those areas. I'm Lori Boyer. For more ag information, log on to agriculture.com.
Don't get left in the cold this winter. With prices on the rise, lock in your propane rate now with prepay options from Wanklin Oil. Fill your tank as you need or lock into their prepay options. Don't let Mother Nature decide when you need propane. Call the team at 785-292-4710 to discuss all their money-saving options. Wanklin Oil, serving you and your neighbors since 1926.
From Kansas State University, this is Agriculture Today. I'm Shelby Varner. As producers are getting into the field for silage harvest, there are a few safety reminders that K-State's Justin Wagner encourages operators and neighbors to keep in mind. He says what the top things are when it comes to keeping people safe on the operation.
One of the number one rules that I always try to tell people to practice is that, we should never have people that approach that drive over pile or that bunker while we're filling that. So they shouldn't be on foot. We want to prevent as much of that as possible. However, we know sometimes we do have to enter into those areas. And if we do, we need to get on the radio, use those communication devices, inform the drivers and operators that, hey, we've got someone that's going to be coming into the area. It's also a good idea to wear that high visibility clothing. And really, ideally, we want to make contact. If we've got a tractor operator on a pile, we've got to approach that area. We really shouldn't go into that area until we've made eye contact with that person that's operating it.
Wagner reminds people what they should do when equipment breaks down, if it is possible.
Equipment breaks down. And where does it oftentimes break down? At the center of the activity. And so if we've got a piece of equipment, be it a truck, be it a pack tractor that has broken down or needs to be repaired, and it's oftentimes going to be at or near the edge of the pile where we've got a lot of activity, it's just a really good idea to try to remove that equipment as soon as possible from that area where we've got that increase in activity. We also oftentimes, if we're going to repair a tire or work on a piece of equipment, we're going to have people on foot. And so you can see very quickly where just ideally, in a best case scenario, we'd like to just go ahead and move that equipment somewhere else that we don't have all that activity associated just around or near that drive over pile where we've got all that activity that's occurring.
He discusses what neighbors of silage operations should think about when seeing trucks rolling down the road.
Oftentimes people live in rural areas. We're all very familiar with that, but if we may have guests, we have many people that are not familiar with silage harvest that say, hey, typically these trucks are going to come 1, 2, 3 stretched out a mile or so down the road. If you see one silage truck, there's probably another one right behind it. So just be cautious and be aware of that. I think it's just as a general rule as we get into this time of year. Same thing is true for weed harvest or any other, agricultural process that oftentimes where it just puts an increased amount of activity out there on our country roads.
That was K-State Extension beef cattle specialist Justin Wagner with what people near or part of silage operations and fields should take note of this time of year. I'm Shelby Varner, and this has been Agriculture Today over the K-State Radio Network.
Life happens fast, but being protected doesn't have to be complicated. At World Insurance, we make insurance simple. Auto, home, farm, crop, and business coverage built around you. No call centers, no confusion, just real people right here in your community. Call 785-562-2393 or stop by 715 Broadway in Marysville and see Rachel, Jen, or Tammy for a free quote. World Insurance, coverage you can count on.
Ag News from the Mid-America Ag Network. I'm James Guerin. It's always a good time to think about safety on your farm. Chase Pagel, a safety consultant for Pagel's Ponderosa Dairy in Wisconsin, says her operations hold trainings with their local safety officials.
We try to do, if not every year, every other year, the fire departments will come in, walk through the facilities. We like them aware if there's animal areas, if there's high hazard areas. So we do have methane in the digesters. And if there was a fire or something, those are going to be more of our high hazard areas, something with a lot of chemicals. So we do have maps put together of all this, but it's nice to have your fire departments come out, even sometimes your EMTs, because they never know what they're walking into either.
If you do have an accident on the farm, it's good to bring emergency responders and others in to talk about what happened.
I do recommend if you do have an on-farm accident, bringing those people in that helped during it to kind of do a debrief to say, hey, what went great? What went wrong? What are things that we can help the fire department understand better, the EMTs, and kind of work together. It really does help because then everybody is prepared. I know us having like an emergency response team, we practice some of those drills. We have put together different departments, like if you're more of a scene control or if you're helping with firefighting things until the fire department gets there, or first responder type where you're trained in the first aid to kind of help that person out until the EMTs get there.
She said the extra work will be worth it if there is a farm accident in the future.
Yeah, a lot of training goes into it and a lot of pre-work, but I think it's better because that way people are prepared if there is something that does happen.
As farm activity ramps up, it's important to coordinate with local first responders to ensure safety. Sharing maps of your operation, locations of fuel and chemical storage, and access points can save valuable time in an emergency. Hosting a walkthrough or safety briefing on your farm helps responders understand the layout and potential hazards. Clear communication and preparation not only protect your operation, but also help emergency crews respond quickly and effectively if something goes wrong. Ag News from the Mid-America Ag Network. I'm James Guerin. It's always a good time to think about safety on your farm. Chase Pagel, a safety consultant for Pagel's Ponderosa Dairy in Wisconsin, says her operations hold trainings with their local safety officials. She goes on to say that they share that every year or every other year, local fire departments conduct walkthroughs of their facilities to familiarize themselves with the layout. It's important for responders to know where animal areas and high hazard zones are, especially places like digesters that contain methane and other chemical storage areas. While maps are prepared to highlight these risks, having fire and EMT teams visit in person helps ensure that they understand the unique challenges they might face during an emergency. She advises holding a debrief after any on-farm accident to review what went well and what could improve, helping everyone work better with fire and EMT teams. Having an emergency response team on site is also key, They practice drills and assign roles like scene control, firefighting support, or first aid, so they're ready to act quickly.
Tired of worrying about your fuel deliveries? At Kramer Oil, we understand that when you need it, you really need it.
Since 1976, we've been the region's trusted fuel provider. We've built our reputation on dependable service, ensuring your bulk fuel, propane, and oil arrive exactly when you expect them.
You can count on Kramer Oil for on-time delivery and a fair price every time.
For integrity, quality, and dependability, choose Kramer Oil. Give us a call today at 785-562-2466.
Kramer Oil, your reliable fuel partner.
From ABC News, Wall Street now. Falling shares in AI-related chip companies have helped to pull down the broader market, although the Dow Jones headed into the midday higher by 134 points. The S&P was off 0.33%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq was lower by a full percentage point. Oil prices retreated this morning on expectations of an announcement of new measures by the United States aimed at further isolating Iran economically. President Trump has hinted at what he's calling an economic D-Day for Iran. Cryptocurrencies, on the other hand, have been rising. Bitcoin topped $79,000 this morning. That's well above the opening price of Sunday. There seems to be no stopping the web slinger. Spider-Man Brand New Day fought off a slew of newcomers to maintain its first place spot at the box office in its fourth weekend in theaters. The film so far has made $855 million in North America alone. Jim Ryan, ABC News.